Welcome back to my sewing room. We are in the middle of this crazy COVID-19 shutdown, and I really haven't had a lot of motivation to sew. I've sewn a few little things here and there. Mostly what I've done is just reorganize and clean up in here a little bit. But American Duchess released a free pattern for a cape from 1910. So I decided I was going to make that, and in the process I also decided that I would film it. I made a paper pattern and tried it against my size, and it fits just fine. So I'm going to use it to cut my fabric. I am using the same cream colored silk that I used to line my red coat, my red wool Provence pea coat that I made. And I'm using a gray wool as the outer layer. So I have all the pieces cut. I'm ready to cut the fabric, and I will reposition the camera so that you can watch. And you'll get to see my new cutting table that my dad made. It's great. Now that we have all the pieces cut out, the first step is to sew the darts in both of the regular fabric crossover pieces and both of the lining crossover pieces. So that's 12 darts total. That's what they look like. They're nice long darts. So I'm going to do that first. After sewing the darts, the next step is to trim the darts down so they are at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then press them down on both the fabric and the lining. So that's what I'm going to do next. I can't remember what I recorded last for this video, but I'm at a point where I have all of the darts sewn, the dart seams trimmed down, and the darts pressed. So they're all nice and flat. I have sewn the shoulder seams together, and I'm at the stage now where I'm pinning the sleeve part of the cape into the arm side. That's what I'm working on. I've got them on the main fabric. I have both sides pinned in, and I'm going to get to sewing those. I have attached the sleeves on both the wool fabric and the lining fabric, and the next step was to press under the seam allowance on the collar contrast and then top stitch it to one of the collar pieces. So I've done that, and now the next step is to put the two collar pieces right side together and sew all the way around them, leaving the neck edge open. So that's what's next. Now that I have the collar attached to the main fabric, the next step is to attach the lining to the main fabric. So I'm pinning that together right now. And when I sew it together, I will leave a space in the bottom hem to turn it right side out. And in doing so, that will also enclose the ends of the collar within between the two pieces. The entire lining is attached now, so what my next step is to clip the corners and trim into the curves so that turning it right side out is a little easier. And once I get it turned right side out, I will press the edges really well, slip stitch the opening closed, and then I'm not going to use hook and eyes on the ends of the crossover pieces like the pattern does. I'm going to actually attach some longer ties. So once I get this turned right side out, I will try it on and measure how long I need to make the ties. My American Duchess 1910s wrap cape is finished. I'm not positive that I attached these crossover pieces correctly, but I kind of am considering this a wearable muslin, so for now it works just fine. I'll probably take some close-up pictures and post it to American Duchess and ask some questions. But it's wearable. Doesn't look very good over a t-shirt and jeans, but it's wearable. It's nice and warm already. It's a really lightweight kind of wool flannelish type fabric, lined in silk. And it's already, I need to take it off, it's hot. This is the back. It's a wonderful, wonderful cape shape. I will say that these crossover pieces are supposed to have hook and eyes put on them so that you can hook them together in the back. But I didn't want to, with this mock-up, wearable mock-up, whatever you want to call it, I didn't want to adjust the pattern and make those pieces longer for a couple reasons. The main one is that this is the first time I've ever taken a gridded pattern and made it life size, and the sizing was close enough to my measurements that I thought it would work, and it has. I mean, there's a few little adjustments I think I can make. So I didn't want to make any other changes to the pattern since it was my first time sizing up a gridded pattern. Since I did not put hook and eyes on these crossover pieces to solve the problem, first of all, the ends of them both are right here. So I would have had to add probably 8+ inches to each piece. And I just didn't want to do that. So to solve that problem, I just added 2 ties. I made the ties too long, so I will have to fix them and make them shorter. But I will show you. I just tied it, pulled it around and tied it in the back and let the strings hang. Right now they hang below the cape, so I have them tucked in my pocket. Anyway, it was a great project. It was fun to finally try something new and size up a gridded pattern. It worked well. The instructions were great. This American Duchess pattern is free, so I will link it up above and in the description down below. Go ahead and try it. It's an easy enough pattern that I think a beginner could do it with some help. So maybe an advanced beginner. So, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content from me, hit the subscribe.
I certainly shall not. A service such as this.
What's up?